What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. As we know, one of the more biggest contracts that was signed in free agency was Fred VanVleet, which means the Toronto Raptors have lost their starting point guard. But the Raptors moved very quickly and they replaced Fred VanVleet with Dennis Schroeder. They've also signed Jalen McDaniels. So it seems like this team is hell-bent on running it back when a lot of people have expected that they could potentially blow it up, but that has not been the case whatsoever. So today we'll be doing a post-Fred VanVleet Toronto Raptors rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me that 63% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed, so you do fall into that 60%. Want to change that? That would be greatly appreciated. We're getting closer and closer to 40k subs as well, so thank you guys so much for that. But let's talk about the Toronto Raptors. One thing I also forgot to mention that they did is they re-signed Jakob to a big contract, so they got him back. But honestly, when you look at the Raptors in hindsight, it looks like a team that could be pretty good. It looks like a bunch of guys that are thrown together that, you know, have skills that should work in the NBA, and this team should be a relatively good team. Do they look like a contender? Maybe not necessarily, but they have a lot of decent players that a lot of teams would love, but it just didn't work last year, and who knows what it's going to look like this year. You know, that remains to be seen. Losing Fred VanVleet is going to suck. I know there's some fans of the Raptors that are happy to see him go, and I know there's some that will miss him. I know last year a lot of people were very upset with some of the shots he would take or whatever it was, but regardless, my plan for this rebuild in particular is to just kind of feel it out. I don't really have a plan. I'm going to try to make Masai Ujiri's plan work because obviously, as we know, Masai Ujiri is one of the toughest GMs to negotiate with. He wants to fleece every single person he talks to, but we're going to try to make this situation work. So if we take a look at the rotation as we look at it right now, this is what your rotation would look like. So Schroeder's the starting point guard, OG's your starting two, and then Barnes, Siakam, Jakob. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this is probably what your starting five looks like next year. I assume anyway. Maybe they run Scotty Barnes at point guard. I've heard some things about that, and they start Gary Trent Jr. Maybe Schroeder's a six man. I don't know, but I'm assuming this is what your starting five is going to look like. And then you're going to have a Chu off the bench, Chris Boucher, and then Joe McDaniels was a free agency addition. And then I would love to get Grady Dick some minutes this year as well. So we're actually going to go ahead. Since Grady Dick is 6'7", let's just move him to the 3 because I'm pretty sure he goes up to, yeah, he goes up 2 overall. So he can play over Otto Porter. That's totally fine. So we'll run something like this. And this will be our rotation for this season. And then other than that, I do want to look at shot tendencies and see where we're at. So Siakam's is a 74. I'm going to push that up quite a bit. I definitely want him taking more shots. Barnes, same thing. Would love to see him take more shots. And then we'll probably leave it something like that. I think I'll leave everyone else the same. So we're going to roll with how it is now. Barnes, Siakam, I need you guys to kind of take control of the team. Proficiency, it's 3-star pace and space. Can we be like a 3.5 anywhere? It's not looking like it. So it looks like 3 is basically our best bet. So we're going to be a 3-star pace and space system. I'm going to stay with this season. We're going to see how it goes. If we're doing good, then I'll just go to the playoffs. But if we're struggling, we might have to consider trading away someone because Siakam and OG, by the way, are both going to be expiring contracts. Both of them are going to need to be paid. So I'm going to be interested and curious to see how Masai Ujiri approaches the trade deadline because he's shown in the past he's not, or he's okay with losing guys for nothing. He's done with Kawhi, which they won a championship, so I guess that didn't really matter. But he's done with Fred VanVleet now. So like he's done it in the past where he's lost guys for nothing. So I'm going to be interested and curious to see what he does with OG and Siakam. But let's wait to the trade deadline. Let's see how we are doing there. If we're doing good, like I said, I'll send past it. But if we're struggling, then we got to maybe think about some things. So we are stopped at the trade deadline. So as you know, I told you guys, if we were struggling, I was going to stop and make a move. We're 26-30 on the season, and we're under 500. Now, we are the 6th seed in the East. So, you know, you could argue, hey, we're a playoff team right now. Why are we going to make any changes? But 4 games under 500, it just seems like a highway to nowhere that I just don't want to be a part of. So basically, like I said, I wanted to give this team a chance, but it's not working. So we both know Siakam and OG need to be paid this offseason. I think it's time to move on from one or the other. And if you can't already tell, I moved OG's position to small forward because we're going to try to trade him here. I have a trade in mind that I want to trade OG for. I think Siakam would maybe have a little more trade value around the league, but he has in the past said that he wouldn't re-sign with other teams. So I wonder if that would scare other teams off. Maybe his stance changes at the deadline. I don't know. But as far as OG is concerned, he did just get like a new agency. I don't know if that has like any, I don't know if there's anything there with that. Regardless, we're trading OG. So I'm making a move here, and I have a guy in mind that I want on this team. That's going to be the best of both worlds of being able to help us compete and get a little bit of a bang for our buck where we don't have to pay OG this offseason. So OG Anunoby, I'm throwing in the trade. And then we're also going to go talk to the team that's been interested in him for a while. And I think he would make a lot of sense on this team. It's a California team, and it is the Sacramento Kings. The Kings could use a 3-and-D wing like OG Anunoby. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use him, but in particular, the Kings, I think, have been interested in OG or Siakam for quite some time. So, Harrison Barnes' contract matches OG's contract almost perfectly. So, we could just do a straight-up swap, but obviously, that's not what we want. So, Barnes is making, he is on a 3-year deal. I don't love taking that contract on, but it's fine. We'll deal with it if we're going to get what I want here. So, the guy I'm wanting is Davion Mitchell. I want Davion Mitchell on the team. I think if we get him as our starting point guard going forward, he'd be the best of both worlds. He progresses in 2K like crazy, and he could help out right away. He's been in the league for quite a while, so he's going to be a guy that can come in and help right away, and he gets an opportunity here, and isn't going to be behind Fox anymore. He will start over Dennis Schroeder immediately. I don't believe that Dennis Schroeder is our starting point guard going forward. So I'm going to have to include Otto Porter in here, I think, to match Davion Mitchell's contract, or to, kind of match the salaries here. But OG and Otto Porter for Barnes and Mitchell. Now, since I could put myself maybe Masai Ujiri's shoes for a second, let me try to squeeze 10 firsts out of them on top of this. Just kidding. Let's try to get one, though. Let's try to say we want this 2027 first round pick, and let's see if we can squeeze this out of Sacramento. So OG and Otto Porter for Barnes, Mitchell, and a first. What do you say to that? They don't agree. They want Moutier, and they want to do a pick swap. They want to throw me Chris Duarte. I don't want to do a pick swap. I want straight up, and I don't want Duarte either. So I'll give you Moutier. That's fine. You can have Emmanuel Moutier. I mean, he's not even supposed to be on this roster. He just got auto-filled to it. So let's say we just threw you Moutier on top of these three, and we walk away with Mitchell in a first, and then Barnes is salary filler, who we'll figure out what to do with him later. What do you say to that? They want a first again. They're offering me the same package. I'm not doing it. I will give you a second, I guess, if that's going to tickle your fantasy. I don't know. Or maybe we ask for the 2028 pick. Maybe that has less trade value. I just want to try to get a first out of them, and then I'll throw you a second. See what they say. Okay, they're going to counter me 2 seconds, and they want to throw me Colby Jones. Let's not do that. And they still want to throw me Colby Jones for 3 seconds. Whatever. If you want to throw me Colby Jones for no reason, sure. Let's just do the two. Let's go back to the original trade. So OG, Otto Porter, Emmanuel Moutier, a second for Barnes, Mitchell, and a 2028 first. And for whatever reason, they're throwing me Colby Jones. You know what? This is the Masai Ujiri package you would like. So you know what? That's fine. We'll do it. Colby Jones, welcome to the Raptors, but we moved on from OG Anunoby, and Davion Mitchell is going to be our new point guard going forward. So I feel really good about the return we just got in that trade, so I love it. Now we can kind of look at this rotation, what it's going to look like now that OG Anunoby's gone. So Davion Mitchell will start at point guard immediately with Gary Trent, Barnes, and Siakam. So that looks good to me. Jakob Poeltl, Chua, Boucher, Harrison Barnes, and Dennis Schroeder. So Grady Dick is cold right now, which kind of sucks to see, and then McDaniels is kind of out of the rotation if we roll with what we have it as right now. So maybe we should make another move, because I feel bad about McDaniels not getting any minutes, but at the same time, I guess we can bench Grady Dick for the rest of the season. I don't know. We'll just leave it, I guess. McDaniels, you're out of the rotation. I apologize. And the proficiency went up, actually, with Davion Mitchell coming in, so that's good to see. And what is his shot tendency? Because I want Davion Mitchell to just be the guy that's going to come in right away and just show that, hey, I was buried behind Fox this whole time, and I got some skills that I can show. So we might still make the playoffs with the Davion Mitchell edition as well. So let's keep someone this season. And I love what we were able to do at the deadline. And let's see how the rest of the season goes. Trae Young wins MVP. Vic's your Rookie of the Year. Chris Paul, 6th man. Giannis Defensive Player. Gaffer's Most Improved. And Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. And Christopher Bell is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team. All-NBA second. All-NBA third. Can't imagine we have any Raptors here, so I'm not really looking at it. All-Rookie first team. And we do get Grady Dick making All-Rookie second team, which is cool to see. But we are in the play-in, so we still made the play-in as a 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. If you take a look at the player stats for the season, you had 19 from Barnes, 17 from Siakam, 16 from Gary Trent Jr., 11 from Dennis Schroeder, and 11 from Precious Chua, 9 from Davion Mitchell. I can't wait to unleash him next year, and then 9 from Barnes, and then 8.5, and then 8 from Jakob Poeltl with a block, and then 8 from Chris Boucher. But we do get the Knicks in round 1, so let's go ahead and see if we can take them down to get into the playoffs. Let's see what happens, and we do win. So we're in the playoffs. So just like that, we're back in the playoffs, baby. And then what is Sacramento doing? Sacramento is gone. Wow, that sucks for them. Oh, well. We get to play the Boston Celtics in round 1. I can't imagine we're able to beat this team. I think we get eliminated early on here, but hey, at least we got here, right? Similarly, current round against them. And did we get a game? And we got one. We got one game on them. I know you can't see it, but we did win one. So let's go see who wins the championship real quick. And then we got an offseason ahead of us. That's going to be important. Pelicans and 76ers, and you got the Pelicans beating the 76ers in 7 games. I'm pretty sure our pick goes to the Spurs this offseason, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong by that, but we'll see. So you got the Pelicans getting number 1 overall pick via the Bucks. That's insane. What is our pick at? Doesn't it go to the Spurs? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, so the 15th overall pick goes to San Antonio from that Jakob Poeltl trade. But staff signing, as we know, this isn't the real life Raptors head coach. He's not in the game, I believe, or at least he's not in my file right now. But we're going to fill this coaching staff out. And honestly, there's no draft pick we need to make. So let's just fill this out real quick. If I can find a big man coach, there's one. So grab these 2, sign them up. And then are we full, or can I grab a wing whisper as well? I think we're going to be able to grab a wing whisper, which is going to be great. So we got a huge free agency ahead of us because, as we know, our guy Pascal Siakam is a free agent. But as I said, on draft night, yeah, we're full. But on draft night, he was telling people that whoever traded for him, he was not going to re-sign with them. So that makes me think that he wants to be in Toronto. So I'm going to re-sign Siakam, I believe, and we don't have a first-round pick to trade, like I said. So let's go straight to player options, or we're not drafting with the pick, I should say. But player options, Barnes will accept, Davion Mitchell will accept, and Koloko and Colby Jones. So we're going to accept all of these, which is great. And then qualifying offers, we got Precious Chua, who is also a free agent, which we could move on from if we need to, because we do have Koloko, maybe who's waiting in the shadows to get an opportunity. I did give him a mentorship program this year. He's up to a 75 overall. Don't know what kind of boost he'll take, but yes, I had him mentored by Pearl this year, and I was able to mentor Grady Dick as well, mentored by, I believe I had a mentor by Siakam, if I'm not mistaken. So I am going to resign Pascal Siakam, as I said, and then I need to look at what else we need. So Mitchell and Schroeder as our point guard rotation is fine. Colby Jones could maybe be our backup 2 right away. I don't know how much he'll develop this next season. But you have Grady Dick, Harrison Barnes, and Jim McDaniels, all who maybe could deserve some opportunity of the 2. One thing we could do is actually move Grady Dick to the shooting guard spot. He will go down, but I think it's going to be best to have him there. That way he can get minutes there. And then you could have Barnes or McDaniels fight over that backup 3 spot, or you can move one of them to the backup 4. But Boucher's kind of got that title right now, and then Koloko and Jakob Poeltl. So yeah, there's a lot of different decisions we need to make. I think what we need to do is just re-sign some guys and figure it out later. We can maybe make another trade at the deadline we need to. We do have cap space, so we could go get like someone else, but I am just going to re-sign Siakam. I think that's what's probably going to happen. So Siakam, 5-year deal, 30 years old. We'll go ahead and sign Pascal Siakam up. I'm not going to renounce. Oh, we need to re-sign Gary Trent Jr. as well. I don't want to renounce him. It sounds like he's going to get an extension in real life, so let's not renounce Gary Trent Jr. Let's make sure we go get him back. So don't know what kind of extension he'll be signed with Toronto, but we're going to sign him back as well. Says, hey, let me renounce Gary Trent. That's not going to happen. And then Achua, I'm going to wait till day 12 to re-sign him. I don't want to just lose him for nothing, but I don't like what he's asking for either at the moment. So he might be a little too expensive for my liking. I feel like we could maybe just have him on his qualifying offer, and we could choose between Koloko and him. I think that's the best way to do this. I don't want to pay him $17 million, so we're going to have him just come back as qualifying offer, and we're going to see how much Koloko develops, and then we'll go from there. So Chua, qualifying offer with $5 million. I think that's the best way we could have done it. He will be unrestricted next year, so that could be tough, but regardless, Barnes is up to an 87. Mitchell is up to an 83, so already developing, which is what I wanted. Pirtle's up to an 82. Gary Trent is up. Chua is up. What about Koloko? He is up to a 76, which is a good sign. Barnes is down to overall to be expected, and Colby Jones is up. So we got a lot of guys developing here, which is great. We got a lot to figure out once we get to the trade deadline. There's still some more moves to be made that we will be making once we're there. Unless if the team is just like clicking on all cylinders, then you just don't mess with the chemistry. You kind of just leave it, at least in 2K. I mean, in real life, you can add if you want to, but I've had my issues in the past where I've made a change at the deadline when it wasn't needed, and the team just fell off the face of the earth. But power ranking landed us at 19th, and here is your rotation as it is currently constructed. So if we ran a 9-man rotation, it'd be Davion Mitchell, Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, Siakam, and Jakob Poeltl. Pretty solid starting 5 if you ask me. Achua, Chris Boucher, Dennis Schroeder, and Grady Dick. That leaves McDaniels and Barnes and Koloko all out of the rotation with Colby Jones there as well. So there's so many guys here that could get minutes, but we're just not giving minutes to. So I'm hoping that we're just like decent at the deadline and it makes sense to make the all-in move, because if there is an all-in move to make, I will do it, because I feel like we're kind of on the cusp of being really good. So let's just simulate this season. Let's see how we're doing. Hopefully things are going well, and I'll see you guys potentially at the deadline, or maybe I don't make a move, and I'll see you guys in the offseason or in the playoffs, hopefully. So we are stopped at the trade deadline, and we're currently 20-34 on the season. So I thought we were going to go into this year and be a bona fide playoff team, but I was totally wrong. And one thing we're about to do, which is going to suck for some Raptors fans, is I'm about to Blake Griffin, Pascal Siakam. If you don't know what that means, if you guys aren't aware, the Clippers extended Blake Griffin, kind of said that they were his guy, right? And then they turn around and traded him to Detroit. So I'm gonna do that. I just extended Siakam, and I'm about to do that same exact thing to Siakam. I think if we free away Siakam and get assets for him, I think it's gonna be best in the long run. I think it'll just give a lot more opportunities to the other guys. He's 30 years old. It's just not working out so far. So that is gonna be the game plan. I have a trade in mind. I don't know how easy it's gonna be to pull off, but we'd essentially be getting off Siakam's contract by doing this. And it's not like it's a negative contract or anything, but I'm going to go talk to a team with an expiring salary as big as Siakam's contract. And that is in Brooklyn. They have Mr. Ben Simmons. So if we can find a way to do a Siakam for Ben Simmons swap, not taking Ben Simmons on as the main asset, I want to try to squeeze as many firsts out of them as I possibly can. I don't know how easy this is going to be, but I'm going to try to squeeze as many firsts out of them as I can. I'm going to start with 4 firsts. They're probably going to say no to this, obviously, but let's start the bidding high. So they want my 2025 unprotected in order to do something as crazy as this, which, you know what? I kind of get it, but I can't get to that, unfortunately. So do they have a roster spot open where I could throw them like another player? No, they are. I think they do, actually. So maybe they don't. I don't know. McDaniels. If I throw them McDaniels, who doesn't have a trade value, I'm not going to throw them Grady Dick. I could throw them Precious Achua, but he might say no. And we did it. We got 4 first-round picks for Pascal Siakam. We did have to throw Achua in there as well, which kind of sucks. But I think we walk away with some draft capital, which is what I wanted. And we get off Siakam's contract. We don't have to pay Achua. And that gives a lot more guys opportunity on this Raptors team. So that's going to move Barnes to the 4. That's going to move Grady Dick to the 3. And trust me when I tell you, this is just going to work a lot better. I know that hurts, seeing as a Raptors fan, if you're watching this. But Davion Mitchell, Gary Trent, Grady Dick, Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, Boucher, Schroeder, McDaniels, Harrison Barnes, and then Simmons not getting minutes, which I don't care about, and Koloko. So Koloko will step up as the backup center next year. But I'm feeling good. I think our starting 5 is going to look good. I think the one thing I will do in the offseason is probably to try to upgrade from Jakob Poeltl. But we're going to roll with Davion Mitchell, Gary Trent, Grady Dick, Barnes as our core 4. Hoping Grady Dick develops and Davion Mitchell develop, and then Gary Trent, I love him as the 2. And then Poeltl, as much as I do like him, he doesn't progress much in 2K. If we can find a younger center that, kind of brings the same things he does, that's what I'm going to, plan for. So let's simulate to the end of the season. Let's see how the rest of the season goes. We got more work to do once we get into the offseason. The tank job was so successful after the Siakam trade. Brooklyn does make the playoffs, but they get eliminated, and you got Denver and Cleveland in the finals, and you got the Cavaliers going on to win the whole damn thing. So player retirements, Rudy Brook Lopez, none of that's going to really matter. We have our lottery pick, which is going to be important because it should be pretty high. So we are projected the number 4 overall pick. So top 4 odds at, being a number 1 pick potentially. So let's see if we get lucky here in this 2025 draft. That would actually be amazing. That's going to change a lot of our luck here. So let's see what happens. And we get pick number 6. Damn. Okay. So Pelicans get number 1 again. Wow. And then you got Portland number 2. Well, we fell to 6, which sucks, but we can use it. We can use pick number 6. And we do have a pick via the Brooklyn Nets as well from that Siakam trade we just made. So I'm not too upset, not too discouraged. I feel like there's an opportunity to use this pick. We're not necessarily trying to go full on tank mode and rebuild. We're still trying to compete. We have some pieces that I think can easily turn us around right away. If we have a trade that we can make that's going to do that for us, I definitely think we're right back in the playoffs. Even though we haven't been there, we made it the first season, but from the play-in last year we were terrible. So I have some things we could do. We could throw Poeltl's contract, the 6 pick together, 21. Maybe we throw Barnes in there as well. Whatever it takes, we can try to make some things happen. I think we can do something. So here we are on draft night, and we have a couple interesting things to kind of take a look at before we go any further. Now, I will say we're kind of a younger team, but we're still trying to contend in a way, if that is making any sense as I explain it. But there's a couple things I want to take a look at to show you guys, and that is, this may not make a ton of sense if we do it, but I feel like we have the draft capital to throw their way that we could potentially pull it off. And we may pull it off because, like I said, we're still trying to be contender like literally next season. And if you look at the 76ers, they're rebuilding right now, and Joel Embiid is not listed as untouchable. And we do have the draft equity that I think we could throw at the 76ers that maybe they would say yes. The 76ers are clearly in rebuild mode, would like to be looking for dump players for picks. So, and even Giannis is not listed as untouchable right now as well, which is also very interesting. But if I can get Joel Embiid, that is kind of what I'm looking at right now. I don't know how easy that's going to be. Another idea is maybe Cavaliers Jarrett Allen. Looks like he is a free agent, though, this offseason, unfortunately. But we're going to swing big here, and we're going to try to get Joel Embiid on the team. I know we just traded away Siakam, so Siakam and Embiid tandem would have worked great. But we're going to be opening up money with Siakam gone and Simmons' contract expiring, that you really can't get another player than Joel Embiid, a better player than Joel Embiid. Or if this doesn't work, we could always just go in free agency as well if we want to. So that's definitely another option. Although I think Barnes has to be paid this offseason, so that's going to be an issue. So and Mitchell does too. So we probably won't have cap space anyway. But let's throw them Jakob Poeltl. Actually, yeah, Jakob Poeltl, Harrison Barnes. I don't know how much they're going to value these two, but we're going to throw this 6th pick at them. We're going to throw our 2026 first rounder. We're going to throw our 2027 Philadelphia, which is their own pick, so that might be valuable to them. And then let's throw a 2029 Brooklyn, which isn't very valuable. What about 2028 Sacramento? Don't know if they say yes to this. This is 4 first-round picks, Poeltl and Barnes for Embiid. The odds of them saying yes to this are super slim, but we're going to throw it at them anyway. They disagree, which I figure. Instead of Barnes, let's say we threw another pick in there. Trent, I mean, maybe we could throw Gary Trent Jr. in there, and we can get away with that. 21, does that have value to them? I'm willing to throw Trent in here if it means like they say yes to this. So Poeltl and Trent and all these first round picks for Joel Embiid, they don't agree. So it was worth it. Not going to happen though. So no Joel Embiid. So on draft night, instead we're going to be selecting Dylan Harper to be our backup point guard at pick number 6. And then at number 21, we'll go ahead and snag James Brown at the center position. I don't know how good he'll be, but welcome to Toronto, my friends. So we walk away with an 80 overall backup point guard, which is going to be great. So Harper and James Brown, welcome to the team. Player options, Grady Dick. Of course, we're accepting qualifying offers. Koloko, Barnes, Colby Jones, David Mitchell, all free agents. I want to bring literally every single one of them back in. And then free agency, Giannis is a free agent. So it would have been impossible to trade for him anyway, even though I kind of explored that idea. Simmons, I'm not bringing back. And then Koloko, I'm bringing back. So let's go ahead and just renounce Boucher, Schroeder. I'm not bringing either of them back. We're not bringing back McDaniels, and I will not be bringing back Ben Simmons either. So let's just focus on the guys that we know we're for sure bringing back. So Barnes, Koloko, Davion Mitchell, Colby Jones, I'll have interest in bringing them back. So we're out of moratorium, and now we can offer Scotty Barnes his contract extension. Let's offer Mitchell his contract extension, and then let's offer Koloko his contract extension. So we're going to be locking ourselves up into this team, but we can make a trade, and it's going to work. Trust me. So Colby Jones, we'll have to wait on him. And then we do have the ability to sign like a Kevon Looney if you want to, but that's not really what I'm looking for. So Harper will back up Mitchell. We'll have Gary Trent the 2, Grady Dick, Barnes. We're probably going to try to move on from Barnes still. And then obviously Harrison Barnes, and then Scotty Barnes, and then Jakob Koloko, which I'm fine with. I like Koloko as a backup. I would love to get a different backup center in the fold. So that's kind of my plan at the moment. So I am still trying to look for a better center, which is still what I'm looking for and looking to do. If we look in free agency, I like Miles Turner, Capella, Jalen Duren, Okongwu, James Wiseman, Zubac, and I am sure the Cavaliers re-signed Jarrett Allen already, maybe. So I wonder if we could do like a weird like sign and trade with him. So he's actually in the last year of his contract. So maybe Cleveland would be willing to just swap like Jakob Poeltl and Jarrett Allen. I don't know how much this makes sense, but maybe if I threw them James Brown, who I guess not cap space. If I just threw them like a Suns pick, I don't know how much they're liking that. I'll throw them. I mean, it's not much of an upgrade, but it's an 87 overall. Okay, if they're gonna ask for more than 2 firsts, I can't do it. So maybe we're just gonna have to find something different. So the Charlotte Hornets are offering me Mark Williams. I am also getting Monte Morris as a throw-in here, which I don't necessarily need, but I'm doing this for Mark Williams. So Mark Williams, 13 points, 11 rebounds. The reason why I'm doing this, I love Jakob Poeltl, but he does not move up in overall whatsoever. He's 29 years old, and maybe the Hornets are looking to go compete right away. I don't know. I'm doing this trade, though. They get James Brown in a second. We get Mark Williams on the team, and he's going to probably develop, which is going to be a better center for us. So yeah, that's kind of what my thought process was there. And then Monte Morris, I'm probably going to move him and Barnes for something else. And then we can, fill out the rest of this bench. So no trades were found for Monty Morris and Harrison Barnes. No surprise there. But the last thing we're doing is I'm signing Lou Dort as our backup small forward. Obviously a very good 3-and-D wing with our MLE. So let's bring in Mr. Lou Dort, and then Colby Jones will be back on his qualifying offer, I imagine. And we'll have a full rotation going into next season that I think is going to make the playoffs, which we'll see. Because, you know, like I said, 2K loves their younger rosters. Now, Mark Williams is up to an 83 overall. I wanted him to develop a little bit more, but that's okay. So Scotty Barnes is going to get the full reign here, but it'll be Mitchell, Mark Williams, Gary Trent, Grady Dick, Dylan Harper, Monty Morris, Lou Dort, Koloko, who didn't develop any even further either, which kind of sucks. So maybe we are at the deadline and we can use Harrison Barnes expiring and throw Koloko on the top of the trade. I don't know. We'll see. I wanted Koloko to develop even further, but he didn't. A little disappointed in that. But regardless, we go look in this next season's rotation. I just have a good feeling about this. 15th power ranking. I feel like if you look at the team, you feel like we probably made the team worse. But I don't think that's the case. So Davion Mitchell, Dylan Harper, Grady Dick, Barnes, Mark Williams, Gary Trent, Monty Morris, Lou Dort, and Colby Jones as your last man off the bench. But I'm going to go with Koloko instead. And there is the ability, like I said, to potentially stop the trade deadline to upgrade that center position. Because right now, I'm a little disappointed in Koloko not developing even further, which kind of sucks. But I'm going to go to a 7-second system. And we are going to see how the season goes. I'm expecting good things this year. We'll see if that is the case. I've made a lot of moves for this Raptors team. And we'll see what happens, man. Hoping for the best. We're at the trade deadline, and as promised, I told you we were going to try to do something to upgrade that center position. And I'm getting Daniel Gafford as our backup. We also get Derek Jones Jr. But Koloko to Monty Morris for Daniel Gafford gives us a better backup center for the rest of the season. At the end of the season, Shea wins MVP. Dylan Harper wins Rookie of the Year. So I'm so glad we didn't trade that 6th pick away, because we got a stud right away in Dylan Harper. Damian Lillard, 6th man in Portland. Booker, defensive player, and Proctor is your most improved. And Mark Daigneault is your coach of the year. On your first team, you got Shea, Garland, Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid. On your second team, you got LaMelo, Ja, LeBron, Booker, Jokic. And here's your all-NBA third team, all defensive first team, and all defensive second team. So we are the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. We get to play the Atlanta Hawks in round 1. You got 25 from Scotty Barnes, 19.5 from Davion Mitchell, 17 from Dylan Harper, 15 from Gary Trent Jr., 13 and 12 from Mark Williams with 2 blocks, 11 from Gafford, 9 from Lou Dort, 8 from Grady Dick, and then 5 from Colby Jones. So here we go. Atlanta in round 1. As we know, Atlanta is really annoying to play. They did lose to Jonathan Murray, though, so hopefully that is on our side. We'll see how this goes. They are starting Lou Dort. Don't know how I feel about that, but let's simulate current round. And we are going to win game 1. And we beat the Atlanta Hawks in 5 games. And now we get the Indiana Pacers, who have added Jaylen Brown and Brandon Ingram. Okay. How were they able to pull that off is what I'm asking. Jaylen Brown on a $43 million contract. Ingram on a 41. Okay. I mean, Halliburton's extension is in there. Unfortunately, I can't give him as much as he should deserve, or as much as what it's in real life, because 2K only lets you up to $34 million for certain players, which is weird. But regardless, yeah, pretty good team in Indiana. I don't know how we beat them. We're gonna go game by game on this one. We might lose here. Game 2 or game 1, they win. We do even it up though. Beat them by 1 in game 2. Game 3, they're up 2-1. Game 4, we even it up. Game 5, we win. Can we beat them in 6? We beat them in 6 games, and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we get to play the Knicks. Okay. Oklahoma City and Golden State on the other side. You got DiVincenzo, Maxey, which is interesting. So no Jalen Brunson, no Randall. Instead, it's Maxey and DiVincenzo. Interesting. And then obviously you guys know what we're working with. So let's see if we can beat this team. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, we even it up. Game 5, can we win this just like we did in the last series? And we win game 6. Going to a game 7, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are waiting for us on the other side. Okay. So they want to change the rotation. That moves Grady Dick back into the starting 5. Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. Let's go ahead and take care of business here and make it to the NBA Finals. I did not expect to be in the finals this quickly, but I shouldn't speak too soon. We have a chance, I should say. I didn't expect to have a chance. That's better. But the Knicks right now have the lead. We took it back, though, and if we can keep it, we are in the NBA Finals, but it is a back-and-forth game, as back-and-forth as it can be. Wow, 110 and 110. I think it's safe to say we jump in and we try to make it happen, because this is as close as it can be. I know lately I've just been watching it, but instead I'm going to try to make it happen. Now, I don't love the lineup we have right now out here. This lineup is kind of not good at all, but we got a nice, pick and roll layup. We take the lead 112 to 110. Yeah, this lineup is kind of funky. If we can get like Scotty Barnes out here or something, that would be greatly appreciated. But I'm just going to have to try to lock up on the defensive end. So we're able to take the lead. And now RJ Barrett's getting a screen. We walk away from it. Another screen from Bobby Portis. And we're there. And we got a nice contest, and he misses it. All right, so all we need to do is make sure we hit a shot. Maybe I should call a timeout to bring my guys out here. I'm going to call a timeout. I want to bring our guys out here, and I want to make sure we win this game. I want to make sure that is the case. So let's see. It looks like they're putting Mitchell out here. So we'll have Davion Mitchell and Barnes out here, our 2 leading scorers. That's going to be important. So let's try to pass it in without it getting stolen, obviously. All right, boom. First step is done, and now it is time to see if we can, get another basket here to maybe potentially put this game away. I do have Mark Williams in the corner, but I'm not going to shoot that. Instead, actually like that drive by Mark Williams. 114 to 110. Wow, I look like an actual 2K player. What a drive by Mark Williams. That worked out. I was about to hit the 3, or I could have tried to shoot it. Probably would have been a bad idea. But we have a 4-point lead right now. So as long as we get a stop here, we should be in a good place. So RJ, midi, we contest it. He misses it, and we get the rebound. So just like that, I think it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, we have beat the Knicks in this game 7. If we can hit these, and as I missed the first one, not great. Okay, let's hit the second one. And we missed the second one. Oh, well, you know what? It's fine. We have a 4-point lead. As long as we don't allow a 3, we should be golden. So, famous last words. Hopefully we don't allow a 3. RJ Barrett. Let's not leave Wise. I think that's Wiseman. No, I think it's someone else, actually. Ooh, nice. That should be the seal. That was, to be honest with you, that's probably the first competent gameplay I've showed on this channel in like a long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the NBA Finals, as we can't hit a free throw, but it's okay. We have a 4-point lead. And now we get the dreaded Oklahoma City Thunder as we make it to the finals. They've added Justin Edwards. Of course, they have Casey Wallace, Chet Holmgren, Ousmane Deng, Usman Garuba, Jalen Williams, both the Jalen Williams, and then Giddey and Shea. So we'll see what happens here. Game 1, they're up 1-0. Game 2, up 2-0. I think we got swept here, didn't we? Yep. And yeah, we got swept by the Thunder. So unfortunately for us, we got swept by the Thunder, but I'm going to run it back one more year because this team might even develop even further because the team is still relatively young. Dylan Harper might be up in overall. So we're going to go one more year on this, and I'll see you guys in the next year's playoffs because, like I said, I don't think I'll be making any changes. We made it to the finals, went on a crazy run here, but got swept by the Thunder. So run it back one last season, and let's see if that results in anything different. So at the end of this final season, we got the 3rd seed in the East for this Toronto Raptors team. If we take a look at the player stats, you got 25 from Barnes, 21 from Davion Mitchell, and then 17.5 from Dylan Harper, 15 from Gary Trent, and then 12 and 12 from Mark Williams with 2 blocks, and then 10 from Lou Dort, 8 from Gafford, 8 from Grady Dick, and then 6 from Colby Jones. So here goes nothing. Final run here. Philadelphia in round 1. They have Cameron Boozer, Joel Embiid, Delano Banton. I mean, the team I'm looking at is just not that impressive other than Embiid and Boozer. I mean, Middleton, I guess, is okay, but we shouldn't lose to them is the moral of the story. So my current round, and we sweep them. So take care of business there. Now we get the Indiana Pacers, who were able to beat in 6 last year. They do have the same team almost. It looks like they've added Mitch Robinson instead of Miles Turner, so maybe that helps them out. I don't know. So my current round against the Pacers, and we are going to beat them in 5, and we're back in our conference finals. And we get the Hornets, who have Fred VanVleet, Brandon Miller. We gave them Pirtle earlier, and they look like a very interesting team. We'll see how it goes, hoping for the best. Somebody current round against Charlotte, and we are going to beat them in 7. That was a very close series, and once again, we run into a very good young team. They added DeJounte Murray back. They have Collins, Wagner, Keldon Johnson, and of course, Victor Wembanyama. So do we win a championship? I don't know. It seems like somebody current round has worked for me. So we're going to click it, and we are going to lose in 7. So that'll be how the video ends. Unfortunately, we lose to the San Antonio Spurs as our results of getting a championship are Nolan fold. I don't know what I just said, actually. Thank you guys for watching, as always. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for your continued support. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.